It's June 2019, and in central India, the Malwa region of Madhya Pradesh, farmers had waited anxiously for the monsoon to begin. When the rains finally arrived, it came with hope. Steady rain, which was perfect for sowing soybean, the crop that was mainly cultivated in the fields. But within weeks, the rainfall had ceased. Instead, scorching heat replaced the it. Then, without warning, the skies opened again with heavy downpours that nobody expected. When the water finally drained, farmers walked into their fields and found wilted stalks and empty pods. A season's work destroyed. At first, this sounds like a story about bad weather, but it isn't. Because if you listen closely, farmers rarely blame the weather alone. They talked about something else, that is, prices falling, costs rising, debt growing, and water disappearing. And a system that makes it harder to survive each year. This event is a story of how climate change is not arriving alone. It is joining hands with an already broken farming system. A system built on debt, chemical inputs, volatile prices, and the pressure to produce more and more. Welcome to my channel. Today we go beyond the headlines of bad monsoon or climate crisis. We explore how weather uncertainty has merged with the everyday uncertainties of capitalist agriculture in rural India, creating what one researcher calls a climate of uncertainty. In the next minutes, we will travel to the fields of Malwa. To understand today's crisis, we must go back. For generations, farmers in Malwa grew a mix of crops: cotton, maize, sorghum. These provided food for families and some cash. The soil was rich, black cotton soil that held moisture well. Then came the changes. In the 1970s, soybean was introduced and promoted by oil mills, traders, and processing companies, and it spread rapidly. It was a short-duration cash crop. It could be sold easily. It opened the door to double cropping: soybean in the monsoon, wheat in the winter. Wealthier farmers embraced it. They invested in tube wells, pumps, fertilizers, and tractors. Small farmers followed, hoping for better incomes. But this yellow revolution came with hidden costs. Traditional food crops disappeared. Families became dependent on the market for their daily meals. The soil began to lose its nutrients. And water tables started falling as more and more wells were drilled. This was not just about crops. It was about transforming farming from a way of life into a high-stakes business, one deeply tied to global markets for oil, animal feed, and processed foods. Farmers were now locked into a system where they had to buy expensive seeds, fertilizers, and diesel every season, then sell their harvest at prices that often didn't cover costs. Today, soybean dominates Malwa. Farmers call the region Soya Pradesh. This single crop has reshaped everything. It pushed out diverse food crops. It created a new pattern: grow fast, harvest fast, plant again. But this model is fragile. Soybean needs steady rain. Too little, too much, or rain at the wrong time, and the crop fails. Pests love the stressed plants. The pressure to produce more has led farmers to choose short-duration seed varieties that ripen quickly, but are weaker against weather shocks and diseases. Meanwhile, the state pushed policies that favored this industrial model. Subsidies for electricity, fertilizers, and credit, but less support for small farmers when things went wrong. The result is a farming system that is incredibly productive on paper, but incredibly risky in practice. Farmers must now gamble every season, on the rain, on prices, on whether their investment in seeds and chemicals will pay off. This is capitalist agriculture in action. Higher yields for some, but deeper debt and vulnerability for most. If you're finding this deep dive valuable, verify that subscribe button is clicked. We're tracking the political economy of food and agriculture so you don't miss the next video. Let's meet the people living this reality. In villages like Piplia, small and marginal farmers, those with less than 2 hectares, make up the majority. Many belong to lower castes and own poorer quality land on rocky hills. They tell the same story. Every season brings new worries. One year, yellow mosaic virus. Another year, long dry spell followed by floods. Another year, whiteflies and stem borers. Even when the weather is okay, prices crash after harvest and debt piles up. A small farmer named Volatile drilled 4 tube wells over 3 years, hoping to grow a winter crop. However, none yielded water. He eventually leased his land and took up factory work. Wealthier farmers, often from dominant castes, fare better. They drill deeper wells and grow high-value vegetables when water is available. They buy good seed when the market is expensive. They even sell water to others. Climate change is making everything more unpredictable. But for small farmers, the bigger problem is that they must play this risky game with almost no safety net. So what is being done? Government policies mostly focus on bad weather, new seeds, insurance, drip irrigation. Take crop insurance, for instance. In theory, it protects farmers. In practice, it mainly benefits larger farmers who can afford the paperwork and have access to banks. Small farmers and tenant farmers are often left out. Meanwhile, the push for more groundwater extraction continues. Wealthy farmers drill deeper. They even lease land in other regions to chase water. This is water grabbing in slow motion. These solutions don't fix the root problem. An agricultural model that demands constant growth, constant inputs, and constant risk, while small farmers bear the heaviest burden. The disadvantages are clear. Widening inequality between rich and poor farmers, falling water tables, soil damage, increasing debt, and the slow disappearance of small family farms. The climate of uncertainty in rural India is not just about rain. It is about how weather risk has become inseparable from the risks created by our current farming system. Small farmers are being squeezed out. Rural distress continues. Suicides, migration, and loss of dignity mark this crisis. Yet farmers are not passive. They protest. They demand better prices. They look for ways to survive. Here are 6 key takeaways from this video. 1. Climate change does not act alone. It worsens an already broken agricultural system. 2. The shift to soybean monoculture increased cash income for some but destroyed diversity and resilience for most. 3. Small and marginal farmers face the highest risks but receive the least support. 4. Solutions like crop insurance and new technology often favor the wealthy and lock in the same risky model. 5. Groundwater depletion and water inequality are accelerating social differences. 6. Real solutions require structural change. Fair prices, support for diverse farming, and genuine redistribution of resources. The future of millions of Indian farmers hangs in the balance. We must move beyond treating symptoms and address the deeper political economy that shapes their lives. What stood out to you in this analysis? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read them and often build on viewer questions in future episodes. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, share, and stay curious about the systems that feed the world and the people who sustain them.